Okay, I guess we are online, like the stream is on. Hey guys, my name is Marcelo, and today or tonight we're gonna go upgrade the cockpit. I'm gonna be like removing my Fanatec DD Pro Gran Turismo 8 Newton meters, and we're gonna like taking his wheel out too. Gonna bring to the table. Like yesterday, I did like a live unboxing the Simi Cube 3 Pro, and yeah, so like we're gonna like kind of connect it and gonna bring to the table. I'm gonna do like a little comparison in the two wheelbases and like swap up. So like if you guys wanna bear with me in this adventure, so I have like here some Allen keys. I'm gonna start kind of removing old wheel. Okay, need to close this. So I have this wheelbase here, the Fanatec, for like almost like 4 years. It's my first like direct drive. As many others, I started the sim racing with the Logitech, like the G29. That was like a long time ago, and then I got married and stopped everything, and just like we started like recently. So it's kind of pain in the ass. I don't like to do this stuff, like kind of keeping swap, hardware, moving things around. I just recently did all my cable management. Kind of turned like pretty decent. It was like perfect, but always something, but was like pretty decent. And then like my PC was defected, and then I had like swap everything and yeah, like have to take things apart and like make like a huge mess again. So maybe like this week, definitely I'm gonna be doing like another um, cable management. Yeah, definitely it's better, like like take care of the stuff. Always bolt. Oh, I see it. Like the always moving. You know what? Let me disconnect the wheel. Um, close the speaker. Okay, so the wheel is off. Okay. And ends up unplug my monitor. Oof. Okay, so let me get this out of here. And check it out. That wheel is pretty cool. I just got it out like the other day. I didn't have like much time to really like play with that, but I'm in love with the wheel. It's like an awesome. Okay, so I'm also back in here. I'm gonna unplug the cables. I should have done that before, but you know how it is. So have a pedal connected. Okay, the USB, the power. So everything is disconnected. And like tomorrow, I will be doing, I'm gonna like unbox the active pedal from CineCube and the passive pedal. And I have also like the bass plate. And like I said, like like all the stuff from CineCube, like it's pretty pricey, right? Like it's good quality, but actually to me, like the bass plates, like it's a really good price. Like if you have like another set of pedals, you need like a bass plate, I would be going with that choice. Like it's not bad. Like it's cheaper, I think, than many other options, and like no, it's not that good quality. I'll also need to disconnect this dash here. This dash is pretty cool too. It's called Ruito or something like that. It's from, I bought it like from AliExpress. And I have that like for like, wow, like I don't know, like 3 years almost. And like it's pretty decent dash, like I really like it. The price, like sometimes, I pay like a really good price, but like sometimes, I just looked the other day, the price is like pretty close to the one, I think it's from Cinelab, right? The one like they have I think like a Porsche, don't like really remember, but here, like for you guys see it, that's how I have like kind of hook it up. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the same thing in the CineCube. And like another thing, like the CineCube is like, I don't know, like feels like 3 times heavier than this here. I can like check the weight. It's like 11 kilos. Like it seems like not much, right? Like 11 kilos. Wow, like it's kind of a lot. I think it's solid. Not being like a weight guy, like it's heavy, Now everything like feels lighter after the wheel, like everything's lighter. Okay. So let's turn things around and try to turn this camera. Sorry if you guys don't feel sick. Well, this room here like sucks, like everything's like so tight. It's like, I have like no much space. see how it looks like. What? Okay, so let's maybe go here. Alright, okay, sorry. Now let's look in the ceiling. Turn around, 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 and this. Check, check, check. Oops, oops. Let's see, like maybe with this. Try to bring it more to the corner. How's that? Guys, like you can see the whole entire thing, right? Or should I do differently? Ah, so I'm gonna try like a good angle. Ouch. Maybe this way. If I put in the center here, I don't think it's gonna be high enough. Maybe here. Then I have like this crap in the way. Putting here. Putting here my feet in the way. Think the best be here. Check. Right. Check it out. That feels like it's too freaking close, right? That's too close. Let me move this OBS screen here to make it better. Fix OBS. Well, that looks better, right? Maybe I just need to move. Yeah, I just move this stuff more this way, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna need to remove those, remove those. Okay. Oh, echo. Okay. Oh, echo. Okay. Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay. Fix it. You know what happened? I I had opened the YouTube app, and like since I've been using like this OBS, we kind of like I think have a both, so I was creating the echo. So the learning lesson, it's like a live number 2, so it's like a learning process still. Okay, so let me, I guess, change the height of this table. So this table is pretty cool too because you can adjust the height. See if I can move some of the. So check it out. Goes like freaking high, right? Or can go down. Okay, maybe lower. So lower. Two. I think this is good. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Like, I'm gonna take this dash now. Let's move. I'm gonna use this light also. Why not? Like lightning, lights is like it's really important to the a good quality image. Or like when you do stuff like live, it's kind of not simple as you think. Okay, so let's use beauty here. Take a sip of water. Have to keep hydrated. Okay. So that seems like pretty simple, just like kind of manually without use of any tool. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the same way in the. It's like a pretty large dash. Let's see like how big it is. Let's measure in millimeters. So like the screen, okay, like if you're gonna how supposed to, like supposed to be like in imperial. Like this is like 10.25 inches big. Like the whole entire dash is like in inch. It's gonna be like a foot long. It's like 303 millimeters. Like it's pretty long, right? I have like, I don't know, 28 LEDs, something like that. It's like 4 and 20, I guess. It's pretty nice dash. I really like it. So leave it in here. And now, let's get this thing going. Now we're gonna go and like kind of get this out of here. So now what I have like for mounting, I think it came with that, I don't remember. I have like a bunch of stuff in here, like I don't remember now. If it came with this here or something else. It's pretty straightforward. And just like recently, I have a video like upgrade this the quick release. I had like the old quick release, the Fanatec, and put it like this the QR Pro 2, but it's from a company called Simul, that company in China. But they do like a pretty good like products. I don't know. Oh, okay. So that's the QR Pro 2, like from like Simul. It's like I don't know the one like from Fanatec, because like I say, I had like the old one, the old style, but I can show you guys. See this one here. This system of QR is like it's pretty good. I love it. It's like all like made of like aluminum, and like the price I don't remember like by like right now, but you can check it out. It's like I don't know, like it's probably like half the price if you buy the one from Fanatec. I heard people say, "Oh, Fanatec's better." I see some people say, "Oh, it's the same." I don't know. Like this here is, like it's pretty decent, and like it's amazing. Like the difference, the shifter. Of course, like this, like a 300, 200 something dollar wheel, but the shifter. Now I'm kind of used to like the Bavarian Syntec. Like, oh my god, the difference is like it's huge. It's like it's forward comparison. Like you cannot like compare. But just saying, it's, the Bavarian Syntec, like, wow. They have like a really good quality. Okay. So now, here, let's just show you what's doing. There's like the base side. So they have like this thing. I'm like always confused, but I have to check before. But so it's like Type C for the kind of base. So you're gonna choose this Type C. If you have like the other style, like the one that kind of like more powerful, or have like it's like it's different. Type F, like Type M, like some different types. But yeah, the QR2, the base side with wheel side is still like cheaper than if you buy the one from Fanatec. I'm not saying don't buy from Fanatec, do like whatever you want to, you know. If I was like swimming in money, I probably like gonna get like the one from Fanatec. You know, but it's right, it's wrong conception because the one from Simu is pretty good. And like sometimes, like, you know, you think it's like the same freaking factory. It's the same one. I'm not saying 100%, but many cases, you know, like it's the same one. They just like go and put it like their brains. You can go and make your own brain too, you know, like the factory. Buy like 200 pieces, put your name there, you know, like whatever your name it is, and then there you go, like start your own company. Okay. So yeah, so the QR and like for, you know, like to be able to use this wheel here, because like it's not like a Fanatec wheel. And like if you, let me show you guys. Here's like the, I don't know if you can tell the difference. There's like a clutch, it's kind of long. Just feel like amazing, like the grip of this wheel here, like the sensation. Not saying the angle too, like kind of so comfortable, but like the silicone here. I always use gloves, you know, like Alcantara, like I don't think I like the texture too, but this silicone here like feels amazing. Like you don't wanna like let that go. But okay, so you see here is like the same QR looks like, right? But it's not. They're called like QR2 Ultra, because have like a chip inside that tells the base. The base thinks they have a Fanatec wheel, so then like the base get the force feedback and works just fine. I use like for like a week. I could like kind of swap that like right away. I have the wheel. The next day I had the base, like the Simi Cube, but I chose like, you know, like just take my time so I can make these videos. And like also I got like this extension from like a Simu, Simi Cube, like how the names looks like, right? They probably chose the name because it looks like Simi Cube. Okay, so that's like the extension. I don't know the price too. I don't remember. Have to check it out, but it's not that expensive. I don't know, like $30, something like that, you know. And they have like different colors. I chose for this wheel here like all black. I think it looks pretty cool all black. Like the Fanatec, I chose like the gold one. I always wanted the gold one, but this here I think looks cooler, especially with this wheel here. Yeah, look at that. Look at the click. Plus, like when this wheel here is lighted up, oh my god, looks amazing. I don't know if you guys can. Oh, yeah, just put it in here. Close my mic. Yeah, feels good. It's like kind of. Some people say, "Oh, that's so hard to turn." It's not hard. It's not loose. It's just right. You know, like when things like that's just right. It's like a touch screen. Also, you're gonna have like these smudges in the screen. It's kind of bother me. Make don't bother you. You know, bother people. I gonna try not to touch it. And another thing, I wanna. Oh, that. I thought I lost this thing here. Well, I kind of stick like right here, like in the. That's the magnet for my microphone. Thank God I found it. So Bavarian Syntec, they have like this partnership. I don't know if I can say that partnership, but they are working together. So they have like another wheel called Delta something, and this Delta, like you can connect directly. You know, that's the QR from SimiQ. So you can connect the wheel the Delta directly here without this long barrel cable, the telephone cable. Hello, hello, somebody's there, you know. But I'm not sure if I can do that with this wheel. Maybe they're gonna have like an upgrade later or something in software. I'm not sure right now, but I just gonna do like use the cable anyways. Doesn't really bothers me, but be really nice, right? Be like wireless. The how everything's supposed to be like everything's supposed to be wireless, but think for Thomas Edison, a greedy guy, keep everything wired. They have let Tesla do his thing. Now Elon Musk is like another guy like stealing their name, right? Tesla. But I mean the real Tesla guy. Back in the 1800s, like he had like all this wireless technology, like remote control, like back in the 1800s. But anyways, going back in here, let's first check it out the weight. See if it what I have in here is pound kilos. The second, wait 1 second. Let's take forever. Okay. So now it's kilograms. I'm gonna like kind of check the weight. You know, we have like the QR, like the base side together. So this base here is like it's like 5 kilos and 78 grams. Now let's check it out the from semi-cube. Like let's go like this way here because it's larger. It's so heavy. I don't know if like not this scale here gonna hold it. So this is 11 kilos and 66 grams. See if I can change it real quick to. Oh, it's here. Change for pounds. Oh, in this side. Okay, now it's in pound. So this was like 5 whatever, right? Like 5 something. Let's see in pounds how much it is. So this is 11 pounds and 31. So this is gonna be like probably like 22, 23 pounds. 24.64, like wow, right? Like wow. It's heavy, dude. Like I'm not joking. This thing here is heavy. So let's turn this off. So like let's do like a quick comparison here, like put like side by side, so you guys can see the difference in the size. You know, just because I have that, and you know, I'm like comparing. I have like nothing really to do, but just like for curiosity, it's my curiosity. I wanna see it. So yeah, guys can tell the difference. Let me measure. So let's say the base, like not counting the shaft. Like it's 2 inches like longer. It's not that long. And that semi cube here is like it's like 5 1/4 by 8, and this here is the Fanatec like 6 or like 5 7/8 by 6. It's probably like 5 7/8 by 5 7/8 or 15 16 whatever. Yeah. So This here too, that's like just like 8 Newton meters. Like, and you need like they call it the boost kit. It's just like the power supply, the brick give like more power, I guess. And like you know like what I had before, like the G29, and I don't remember. Like was like kind of almost like 12 years later or more. Like in between. Like that to me was like wow. Like 4 years ago, like, oh, you have a direct drive. Yeah. Well, like it's 8 Newton meter was fine, but then let's see, it was kind of lack. I always wanted like a semi cube, but it's not that easy. But finally, I got the semi cube, saying that from Estonia. No, really, like coming like from US. But everything I say here is my opinion. See, like I have like fingers, like in the when I unboxed that yesterday, didn't like kind of say fingers, but felt like kind of the wheel was kind of dirty. The package was kind of open. Like this thing here like looks like brand new. Like the link too like was kind of dirty. It's kind of weird. But I definitely gonna contact SemiCube. Hopefully everything's fine. But like you want things to be like right, so that's not cheap. So in the back here you have like the power, and then you have like the the data transmission. It's SC like ink, and the other one. Oh, and the other one is this thing here. This box here. So this box, like a pretty cool thing. Seems like like during the like you be in a race. Like oh, I wanna like turn down my force feedback. Or I wanna turn up my force feedback. Or like the wheel go crazy. Like you go like in press here, and like kind of shuts off. And it's pretty cool too, because if you have like a aluminum profile, you can just like mount, like goes from here, and you mount it there. And I'm gonna swap with the one I have in there. So yeah, so now what I have to do is I don't know if you guys wanna hang it out when I was doing this here, but I'm gonna remove like my C-Move quick release and put it like and we're gonna swap from this here. So that's pretty similar with the Fanatec. Things like like they change the shape a little, so like you don't have to go like the patterns or whatever they can call. Like so they have like their own stuff. But I think that's pretty similar to the one from this here. Like come on, like right? It's like the same crap. It's like just change. But that one here is smarter. You know why? Because this here cannot go wrong because the shape. I forget how calls this shape here have like a certain name, like it's or geometry. I don't remember. But yeah, cannot go wrong. Like how you connect it, like you're not gonna be upside down. Don't have like to worry about it. The only like contra, like con, like I heard about this thing, like it like really stick to the wheel, and like when people remove it, they hate themselves doing whatever. So I don't know, but yeah. So let me start it. Let's see if I can do it this way here. I have this problem, like if I talking, I cannot like kind of work. I can do one or other. Like my brain doesn't function like normal people. Oh come on! I don't have the right size. This really tiny one here. Okay. First let's loose. And like when you're doing this here, like keep like kind of grabbing in the magnetics. Let me suppose I take this out just for now. There's like less crap in the way. And like what you guys have for equipment, let me know like in the comments. I'm gonna pretend I care. I kidding, I care. I wanna know. Like I have this curiosity, like what do you use? Like you like it, You have like a favorite brand? It's like back in the day, like Fanatec was like to me, actually, it was like wow, like this is a really good brand. Not saying that, but Fanatec to me was like before, like the direct drive charade. Like they were like the ones like kind of had a, like say a belt drive. They had like a really good belt drive. It's kind of price, I guess, compared to the one like from the Logitech, but was much better. What I remember. But just like right there, like I need to check it out. But like CineCube is being around like for a while. I remember like a channel. I don't know what happened to that guy, but that channel used to call Scene Race Garage. I used to really like to watch that show. He sounds like a guy like kind of working a railway station, and he were like really smart, like like kind of like this Dane Suzuki, like kind of he opens stuff like and he knows like I'm not like that. I don't have idea. I like to open this to check it out, but I'm probably gonna break it. Why am I gonna do that? Make no sense. You have to, like I think that's like waste of time. Okay, so like now I'm gonna pull it off. But yeah, so like the CineCube is being around like for a while, like and they had like this back in the day, like this technology too, like the wireless wheel, like kind of like the antennas behind the base. But now for some reason, like they came with this kind of link stuff. I'm gonna pick it up there like in a little bit, and I'm gonna show you guys. But the whole thing is about to not uh, use USB. So you're gonna connect via like it's Ethernet cable. I think they how call this stuff. I'm not sure. Don't care. Like call it whatever. Like the name. Joselito cable. Who give a shit, right? So that's the QR. Look, this look feels kind of pretty loosey. I just started kind of lose it up. I should have like kind of going tiny, but I didn't because I gonna like swap. But like probably like need like that Loctite thing like in the bolt, so we don't have this problem. But yeah, let's put this part in here, and we gonna use this here. Oh yeah, but I wanna use the plates. So actually, I'm gonna need. So like this kind of it's not like my favorite, but that's pretty handy to have because I have all the size, not like all the size, but like like for the sim racing, you probably like you all set with one of these here. I like those because I have like this kind of round heads here, so you can like kind of you don't have to be like exactly. You can go like kind of little an angle. This here doesn't have, but helps the C move, the brain like from this quick release they have the Allen key like a courtesy, So it's nice, like you don't have to go and get your stuff. But then like you have like 100 Allen keys. I was like kind of complaining because the variant syntax didn't have one. But it's kind of shitty complaint because actually like every sim racer have one. Like if you don't, you should. But be nice if they include uh alien key, especially in the price point. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to use the spacer without have like adapter. The adapter from SimiCube is pretty expensive for like a little piece of metal. I think it's like $100. So no way paying $100 for that. I prefer just skip that and get the extension thing. It's like 200. It's like it's a nice shaft instead of use like a little. Yeah, doesn't make sense. So here's like this plate coming with like the Bavarian syntax. It's like a courtesy, I suppose. Like it's aluminum CNC machine. Everything looks like really nice, really really good. So let's see how this goes together. So this here seems like from the. Okay, can do like from the top. No, I have to go to the bottom. So now I'm not sure, because hey, the wheel have the port inside in there. I'm gonna have like to, I don't know, like email like the version tag or somehow and ask before. I should have done that before. I didn't thought about it, but because this quick release have like this see like this thing here, but the size seems like really different. I don't think it works. Yeah, I think just like the Delta one works. It's whatever, right? For you, correct. Questions. Hmm. How can I find? Kind of catch it. Can I catch it? Oh, duh! I'm like in the wrong hole. Duh. Okay, I find it. So this here have like this. I don't know the millimeters, the difference, but you see have like I can go here or here, but it's the outside. That was like inside, and like oh, I cannot catch it. I'm brain damage. Okay. Yeah, when I was like a little babe, my mother dropped me several times. She said like I fell like head first. She like kind of pray, oh Mary, Jesus, let he die. Of course in here, but I don't think I'm like all the way. If you know what I mean. But yeah, I made it. Thank Mary, thank Jesus. Okay, so like now it's kind of time. When I don't want to go like too much, and like kind of strip this here. and say, I don't know you guys, but me, maybe I just like kind of like I say, I hit my head so many times when I was like kind of when my skull is too soft. But I don't remember this like this term like Newton meters before. Like I don't remember. Oh, the you're gonna like tie up this here in it's like 2 Newton meters. How you know that? You know, like you're like a cyborg. Like I don't know that the force of 2 Newton meters. Like these things here say like in the back, say like 1 Newton meter. How I know what is 1 Newton meter? You guys, maybe I'm just like say I'm like kind of slow. So if you guys know how you can like kind of check that, like let me know in the comments. Okay, so now I have, let's just make sure I got every single one. Again, I have a difficult to do things like in talking. I'm gonna like miss like one or other. I'm gonna forget what I was saying before, or I'm gonna forget what I was doing. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Oh, see, now that's talking there. Uh, okay, so now we have a down with down. So I guess, I should have do that before, right? Yeah, no, I don't think that'll work. Yes, to me be able to use this spacer here. To use the spacer, I would need the adapter. Yeah, the spacer gonna like connect to the Bavarian Syntec, but doesn't connect. No, I'm not sure. But I can check it out that later. So you guys don't get like so bored. And like you bored, like I'm gonna like to know you can do something. You know, like the slide bar, you can like kind of fast forward. Obvious. If you're watching right now, I'm so sorry. You know, but I don't wanna. I'm gonna rush because you. are gonna take my time. No, in my time, not in yours. That not saying that I love you, but don't rush to anybody. Okay, so now, so that's be the position. Turn around here, guys. See it? So you have here like the see the logo, the semi cube. So here it says like say it's the top of the wheel. So like when you mount that, you make sure you go like this way here. Otherwise, our wheel gonna be upside down. That doesn't matter, right? Should I try it? So do that. Try and then let me know in the comments. At your own risk. Now again, I'm not feeling that I'm catching anything. It'll be like perfect align. Should have been talking like the whole. I'm like here to entertain you. Like, what do you want? Like a joke? Keep you entertained. If the image is not enough for you, you know. Well, I don't know what to say. You can say something too in the comments. Keep comment. Every comment I get like $5. I'm kidding. It shit. Not even monetized. It's completely free. But you can send money to me if you want to. You want my Vimo? I'm kidding, guys. I do this here because I really love it. Okay, I love Stingrays. I don't know what's wrong like with the Stingrays community, but it seems like the most of the Stingrays is like a bunch of dicks. Like like sometimes in like this I really don't do that, but like comment section and stuff. But says like in the Facebook, like somebody go and guy's super happy, like they got something new, like and he goes and posts like, oh I got that, like I'm so happy. Kind of like these douchebags, like and start like kind of say a bunch of crap, like kind of come on, like give a break, like the guy happy, even like whatever, like what he has is not that what you like, but he likes it. Maybe that what he can have, But they always say something negative, like it's kind of awful, like really awful. Like I don't know. Again, I don't know what's wrong with the Stingrays community. There's me, or you guys agree with me? If you if you agree too, like go in the comments. If you disagree, go in the comments too. And like you wanna prove like you're really a dick, go and like give him like a thumbs down. Just like remember, Jesus is about to come back. Douche. Now which side? It's this here. Yeah, I don't know what like why you gonna give like somebody like a thumbs down? Like if you don't, just don't do nothing, right? Just suck. Like take a deep breath and do nothing. Why you wanna do like something bad? Like nobody goes and like give like like it's like a I don't know like 10% like less, maybe like 5% like two like my case like a small channel. It's like just my family. It's me and my family like liking the videos. Like nobody likes it. But here and there, like somebody goes and click like they don't like it. Like what? Why you don't like it? Just like just keep scrolling. But then sometimes like people go and like go and comment like some crap. It's kind of dumb stuff. Like say like why? Like like just show how people is miserable. Have like nothing nice to say, don't say anything. You don't have like nothing nice to do, just don't do it. Just keep moving forward. Like, oh no, let's stop here and give like a thumbs down. Well, like to do this kind of stuff here, it's kind of a lot of work. Like you don't have an idea. You might have, right? Just like people make videos. Like if you don't, honestly, you don't have idea. Say this live here, it's like it's a saving thing. I think maybe from now on, I'm just gonna do lives. Just go and just go. Just do it. No narrative, like the narrative goal is making doing the way. Like you're gonna make like a real video, like it's a lot of work. The whole process. And then like coming like a guy with like a bad mood because he's hungry. And he's like, oh. One time, like a guy say like some crap about Ayrton Senna. Come on, how you can be like the douche? Says like Ayrton Senna was like a saint, but he was pretty close. I tell you. Okay, so I think I got it, guys. Look, the Bavarian Syntec Omega Pro V2 now officially has a SIM cube quick release. So like this quick release feel like, like for you kind of move it. So you see how you have to grab like it's kind of maybe annoying. I don't know. The other one was the difference, right? The other one, like you couldn't go like whatever, I guess. But the designing here, I don't know. I don't like. I really like hate complain. I shoot it right, like be like everyone else, like I cry, like everything's wrong. But like before you go and cry out, like what is the solution? Is anyone can complain, but like who can like give like a solution? Like see, like from zero, like from nothing, you go and create something. Like say this guy's like whatever, like any entrepreneur, like they go like, oh, develop like a nice wheel, like say CMQ. Oh, it's expensive, but they put in like a lot of work, like a lot of, like research to make like something like from zero. It's not just like like you see the outside. It's like a lot of work. It's like a lot of work. Think like make a video is like a lot of work. You might like create like a directed drive. I think I don't know, like from day one, like the directed drive was like a badass, like the one they had it right. Look how cool it looks, guys. And then like people coming like just like kind of complain, like the USB, or even they're not thinking, they're just like regurgitating what they heard. Like somebody say, like another YouTuber, like a reviewer, the guys that have experience, they like an engineer, whatever, right? He knows what he talks about. Like the other guys, like kind of like like the finger in their nose, like I'm like I ride the small bus. CineCube is dumb. They don't want to use USB, but they have the USB. But it's like whatever. You don't know the whole fuck. But almost cursing, guys. I'm sorry. You don't know the whole entire plane. You know what I mean? Just shush. Stop, like, kind of try. Stop again, like, you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. Okay, so that I'm gonna connect it in the both sides. Then this here goes to the link. So let me grab the link, okay? Then I can show you guys. That's the brick. It's ridiculous big, right? I think I measured yesterday. You can go like and watch like the other video because I don't want to do that again. And like when you watch the other video, like you can comment, hey, I watched this video, you told me to come in here and comment. So I know you did, okay? So here, Jesus, make a track for myself. Here's the link box. What is the link? You probably know. If you don't know, I'm gonna show you right now. I was like talking crap saying it was dirty, came like kind of use it. CineCube USA saying use it unit because they saw my name and they say he's Spanish and you racist. No, kidding guys, kidding. But I don't know, never know. So like you have like this quick guide here. Let me look real quick what I have to do. So this is what I'm talking about. So you have like the Ethernet cable going to the link. Then the link go to the PC. You have this the mini USB. And like what I heard it again, I did zero research. I'm just being like hypocrite like all the other guys. I just watched like kind of 3 reviews and like kind of now I'm an expert. So they say what I heard it, again. what I heard. It's not like official from CineCube, but CineCube say the USB is old and this like the new shit. So they have this thing here called the link. So like all the other CineCube products gonna be connecting here. And like say, like I have like gonna be like tomorrow, like so you guys can like kind of tune it in if you wanna watch live. If you don't watch live, you're gonna like edit. So it's gonna be like a much pleasure video to watch, I guess. But I forgot what I was saying. No, kidding. So I don't know the source, like the really truth behind, but what I heard, the CineCube say USB is old, but you're gonna connect the link using like a USB to your computer. But again, like if you use like your internet port, like my case, my internet port is open, because I actually using Wi-Fi. I shouldn't, but I don't want to like run the cables. I'm lazy. Who cares, right? But I have like an open. But say if maybe, if they had like another, output like Ethernet, in the link, I had the option to go and connect the USB. But again, I kind of heard something that this may do whatever, and the USB actually is better. I don't know. I'm like so confused, but who cares? I don't care. I just want to like kind of hook it up this here, and I kind of sing, and I kind of play. It's like a video game. I'm sorry, guys. Simulate crap, old fuckers. Like a 60-year-old playing video game. So you tell your wife you Sim Racer is like a simulator, so you can get to buy all this expensive crap, but you play a video game because it's like a video screen, and it's like a program, like a video game. I'm kidding. Sim Race. And just joke, it's just a joke. Go ahead and subscribe to me if you don't. Or you know what? Just go subscribe, and so then you can unsubscribe, and then you get your revenge. How that sounds, huh? Just don't forget to unsubscribe because I don't have your bad energy surrounding me. So okay, so now I have the link here, and now I have to connect the link thing here behind the wheel. You guys want like a mirror so you can see what I'm doing behind in here. Then now I have to connect the power. So like yesterday, like I went and connected this here, like I looked the plug. So it's like if you're not, this is just like for people like in the US, but if you're not in the US, you're like, oh, I don't understand what you're saying. But say this plug here, I thought it like was like the wrong one, I have like the adapter, but I think there's like a European. I'm from Brazil. In Brazil, I think it's just like that too. I know my mother, Mom, you watching? That's the one from Brazil, right? My sister, Oi, Tata, guys watching? Okay, so. But no, like they're kind of nice because they have like the European, I guess that's like from Europe. If you're from Europe, you go in the comments and comment, okay? That is like a European or Australian, New Zealand, Africa. They have electricity of like kidding. I'm kidding. This is a joke. Okay, so in the US, like this type in here, like a straight. So it's the same thing, like say iPhone, like the Android, iPhone, like they have like everyone try to push their different connector, and like the company have a more power, they ends up became the standards. So it's like the millimeter, it's like where I'm from, like I grew up using millimeters, like US is like imperial, like the inch crap, I'm moving here, I like it now, I get used to, but now everybody's back to millimeters. started like piss me off, like make her freaking mine. Like, what do you wanna? But actually, like this millimeters, this metric system, I think is much better. It's the why now, like the whole world, like besides US, like has some other countries here use like imperial, like leave in the comments. And you guys commenting. So that is the plug we have in here. So I'm gonna I don't know if it's a good idea to do that in here, right? Connect the wheel like in the table like this here. So I plug in the back and I need to now power it up like oh, you know what? I forgot to like the Romberg cable. Ah, shit. Okay. This twisting thing. So how you guys enjoying this summer? Or if you're in the other hemisphere, how you enjoy your winter? Leave in, leave in the comment section what you think, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna plug. Let's make sure this here. Okay, like something go wrong. Before I plug the power, let me take this wheel. Now I'm gonna, see the problem, like if it's easier or not to remove the quick release. But actually, it's like nothing. I'll turn more this way here. It's like the base is losing there, so I have like nothing like kind of really holding if this would be hard to move. And I have like all the cables plugged. Oh, come on, like give me a break. You saw how easy it was? You saw how easy it was? People like, oh, hit in my face, like again, maybe like, like your mother dropped you too when you were like a little babe. And like, what I wonder, like people is bothered by seeing like the crucifix, maybe like a Muslim. You hijack my religion and you don't like Christ? No, kidding. Go in and describe to me. No, I wonder like if people like get bothered to see that. I don't see people complain like they see like an upside down cross, like, oh, this is satanic. It's lame, oh, it's badass, like I'm doomed. But oh, like he believe in Jesus, he's damned. Like so, like if you don't, I'm gonna go comment in the side. I'm kidding. I don't care. I don't want to mix religion. Or you guys wanna talk about politicians? No, I joking. I joking. Okay. So now I did that. Okay, I need. See what I was saying. I forgot what I was talking. I need to get like my laptop. Yeah, I'll be back. What I think the way I go. So earlier today, I had the idea to go ahead and like download the app from SimCube. I forgot the name of the app now, like whatever. But I downloaded the app and so you guys don't have to wait here, like the downloading. But like sometimes I think it's kind of cool, like so you see how. Because some people they need to see everything, right? Cause some freaking reason. I don't know. Okay, so see if I can move things around in here. Okay. Okay, so before I forget again, let's connect the telephone cable, Bloomberg. Why call Bloomberg? You know, if you know, leave in the comments. I bet it's like the inventor, right? Okay, so like right now I run into my first trouble. So you see the cable is kind of pretty long, right? Like by the quick release thing here. We'll see if I'm gonna be able to proceed. Okay, like so you guys can see it, I guess. Can you see it? How close you this here is from the quick release. So like when you go this way, no bueno, no bueno, no good. So I bet the best bet here is to get the shaft extension. So because it's not my idea, this bad design, be nice if they send me like a shaft extension. So it's somebody from CineCube in Finland that watching this. Uh, I request Cinerace Connection, as like a reviewer. You guys can send me free of charge a shaft extension. So I don't have to go and purchase from this another lovely company here in China and can keep like the Europe economy flowing. So yeah, like a good idea have like an extension. So like if you guys have one already, or if you are thinking about to get one, so I say gonna be like a good gonna be like a good idea to have that. Okay, so let's go ahead in here, connect it. So it's pretty simple, right, guys? Like easy peasy. Oh, okay. Let me move. I remember. Everything has to be in camera so you can see what's going on. Okay. So this brick. So you see the cable cut, right? Like I hate cables, right? Look. So you have like this bunch of cables coming here. Then you have the power that seems to be like really bad, like the I don't know, like EMI, like whatever they call. Let me twist this here. But all these cables, I kind of like it's awful. It's awful. And again, I just had it done, like kind of spent like my whole weekend and make like pretty neat. Okay, I'm going to check it out like my post community, I think that's how you call it in YouTube. I don't have the picture of the neat stuff. I think I never post. I can post it. But I remember I post like the cable mess. Okay. So see behind the curtain here, I think I have a problem. Maybe not. Oops. These bugs as well. Attack the correct. Okay. We go one. Okay. Now I need to connect the USB, so forgot that part. Okay, so sucks. I'm also gonna have another one of these one. Okay, so then the link. So the link have this. Okay. Oh yeah. Let me move the computer to this here. Love it. Hopefully my Pornhub page is gone, you know, like when I open that, so like no surprise. I'm kidding. I don't do that. I'm Christian. Okay, so let's plug that. Oh, look that. So now we have a power. So this here, I push it, so suppose I have no power, so that's all good for now. But I need to connect now the wheel. But like my laptop have like just like the small ones. But I think I have the adapter. So give me a second. This is the adapter for now. And like another thing, like I suggest, like like if you guys in sim race, like you're gonna end up like running a lot of like USBs and stuff like that. I suggest you guys to have uh one of those here, one of these. Not like working for them. I don't care if you buy this brand here. I think that's like a good one. Subrent. This is like plug and play. I think you have like 10 ports. USB 3. Like so it's power. So you don't suck out the power from your computer. So you're gonna use like one of these here. I don't wanna like kind of unwrap this right now. So like when I'm gonna do like my cable management again, I'm gonna like I I get rid of like the old one and I'm gonna like a new one. So let me put it here. That here. Like the wheel. So like nothing go crazy. Like in live, like things go unexpected. Look that, guys. Looks beautiful, right? Let me go get my mouse. Okay. Um, so that's the pit stop app, like the one from Bavarian Syntax. Like here, let me show like you guys real quick, like like these the colors, like the patterns here, like you can change very easily in their own app. So they have like a bunch of different colors. Turn this light off here, I guess. This one here. It's kind of hard to see it, right? In the camera. I don't know, like from here it looks like kind of like really white. But anyways, like it's, you guys are gonna see it. And like you can watch it too, like I have like a video I just like kind of upload like, I don't know, like 2 days ago. Something like kind of worth or something like that, you know, like how you call this kind of titles. Like you wanna like catch people, like they clickbait, you know, like you ask AI, hey Gemini, like I need like a good clickbait so they can click my videos. Cause I know if they click, they're gonna watch the whole entire thing. Cause it's very entertaining. Like if you didn't watch it yet, and I bet you didn't, you should. You're gonna enjoy it. Okay, so yeah, you know what? I wanna change it. I have a that's my favorite, but they have a here. I don't know. You guys can see the screen, right? Yeah, they have a bunch different profiles. Okay, so go down, and now is the CineCube. See how that goes. CineCube, what CineCube? No, this is the logo. What is that? No. What is the app? I just like download this here, so I'm not kind of alternate now. Oh, here, called CineCube Tuner. Okay, so say all the data firmware. Nice, right? That wasn't there earlier. Let's update. So yesterday, if you watch my first live from yesterday, and go like in a Sim Race Collection and check it out, the other video. As I was doing the unboxing crap, you know, I didn't kind of really like kind of pay attention, but like in the middle of the whole thing, like I got my internet got a disconnect. You know, like they had like some trouble, not in here, but somewhere, and everybody, I went to look my phone. It's like, oh yeah, it's somebody already like complaining, like, you know, there's no internet. It was like late in the night, it probably was in bed, even I wouldn't notice. But I decided to be up making live video to nobody watch. Okay. Update successfully. Okay, now what? Close. So I guess like we should like turn this on. I don't know, like for some reason I think that it's gonna start like spinning like kind of crazy. I'm gonna catch the cable, I'm gonna pull the cable. Oh, God, like a spray, right? Like, you know, like the TV shows, like you gotta answer the question, you have to be like really quick too, and hit your hand in there. Okay, so, okay, here's the power. So like, you know, this here like kind of security thing, like you push it and I'm gonna stick in there, like so you do like this here. So now I can like turn it, and I guess I'm gonna spin this like to, I can keep like kind of turning, doesn't matter, okay. So like I turn the power here. All the data firmware again? You kidding me? I just did it. New firmware updates. Why do you guys do that? You know, I don't understand. I'm kidding. I don't know. Like that's how it is, right? Nothing is easy. So like all the sim racers is such a bunch of douche. Allow updates without version change. Should I click this here? Let's do it, right? Why not? I just check every box. every box available, I go and check it. I even don't read what it is, just like go and check it. So others, like, it's not a good idea to connect the wheel directly, especially like a notebook, you know. Turn this light this way here, so I'm gonna like right in my face. But yeah, it's not kind of good idea to do that. Another update. So how are you guys doing today? See how fun it is, like sim racing? Sim racing is really fun. Like we spent like 23 hours like kind of setting up. Then like when you go play, like you're so tired, like and you just like kind of great old man, you know. Another update. Let's okay. That one. Rebooting your device. Should I do that one and do like reboot one shot? Hope you guys understand me too. How you like my English? You like my English? Can you tell by my accent where I'm from? If you can't tell, go in the comment section. You're gonna be like a bunch of douchebag, like saying like, oh, you feel like some crap place in the world, like to offend me. But guess what? I don't give a shit. Can I say shit in YouTube? Now you cannot say anything. I cannot say blood, you can say death, kill. Wow, I say all that, like I go get in trouble, like retard. Cannot say anything anymore. Cause it's not, I don't know, it's not appropriate. But you know what they can do? They can like change the size of everything. Like today I want to make like a hot dog. Like the bun keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. But the good thing is like the sausage gets smaller with the bun. So like, you know, like people like cannot tell. I can tell, like I remember, so like it wasn't that small. Especially like in the United States. You know, like those corporations now, like they, oh, how we can make money? Let's make it smaller. Have like this movie, I don't know if you guys remember, called I think Mallrats. And like the, what his name? Like the guy, like my name is Earl, like the skateboard guy. He's coming with this idea, like to make like a hamburger patty. But he make like, you know, take like a hole in the middle. Like put like a pickle, it's like a cheaper way, and you know, like a big production, you know, like you save a lot of money, or you increase your profit. You know, that's what they do. Wow, it's like a lot of updates, huh? Update. You know what I'm gonna update? It's my water. I'm gonna drink some water. Now is the time like you should be making like commercials. You know what I'm gonna do? This video is sponsored by Boo Spray. You know what is Boo Spray? Boo Spray uses only 3 ingredients. Colloidal silver, lavender, and origin essential oil. Organic, it's all organic. And, you know, like if you have like a little kid, don't have to be like a little kid, that works like for all the ages. And yeah, like it's a really good thing for you. Like colloidal silver, if you don't know what it is, colloidal silver is like a nano-colloidal silver, like it's right, like a fancy technology, but it's not. Like it's really old. If you guys don't know, like silverware, for example, like you used to, not anymore, but people used to have like silverware because like the bacteria cannot live like in the silver. So like when people get like burned like really bad, like you know like bad burn, like they in the hospital like kind of like all look like a mummy. The only thing I think they can use is like the colloidal silver. It's like a water, right? But that kill all the bacteria. Like it's really good. But like the big pharma to scare people, to people don't use, they have like this guy say he drink so much colloidal silver and he turned blue because I have a thing called Jerry or something like that. Can look it up. He looked like the guy Beast like from the X-Men, you know. because he like they say, if you drink colloidal silver, why you gonna drink colloidal silver in the first place, right? But yeah, and like you go in the sun, you turn blue, It's just like that guy. I can have like a girl too, and then like they, like they start like losing money, right? Because people want to be like kind of just for the name, like you don't want to be like the big pharma. You want to use like something better for you or kids. So they want to like make a Netflix, like to spread the rumor, like that's bad. Oh my God, Colonel crazy, get this out of here. You're gonna kill me. But no, yeah, you do like your own research. But yeah, booby spray is only three ingredients: the colloidal silver, um, some light here, it's better, no? Colloidal silver, orange, and lavender essential oils, organic. And yeah, they have like 33 plus benefits. The best antiseptic in the entire whole world. Say like, for example, like you want to shave your face. Keep it updating, right? You shave your face, you go and like spray. Oh, like one thing I forgot to say, like the burning thing. Like also you get burned, colloidal silver, like your silver. Before, like back in the day, like they have like, I think now it's ready, but they have a pitcher like made of silver too, because like they have like a refrigeration, because silver make everything like colder, so they put in the water in the pitcher to drink because made it colder. And so like the colloidal silver like kind of refresh. So if you get burned, you spray that. Or you get like bite from like a mosquito, you spray that. Or, like a razor burn, like you go and spray that. Booby spray, like kind of, it's honestly like look like a magic, And yeah, if you guys want to check it out, I sell that in my TikTok shop. It's the only place you can get it. It's like in the TikTok shop, or if you can come in here to Vermont and like knock my door, the only way to get booby spray. Yeah, that was the sponsor of the video. Oh, more updates? Oh my gosh. And then like if you don't wanna, or if you wanna like something else, just like the silver, I have the silver moon. It's like it's 44 ppm colloidal silver. And that, even I think I don't have that, there's no way to buy. I made a product, nobody can buy it. But it's like a booby spray, the bottle is like made of glass. So this here have like this dropper, is like made of glass, so like it's all plastic free. So like no plastic contamination. So now like probably like all the big pharma watching, or like the AI like, oh he said that. So like the Fed's gonna be like my door in the morning. Think it's ready? Think like keeping change colors. Can you guys see it? The different colors. Like kind of teal. I swear, like I look in the camera, it looks like all white. Now the color is teal, like kind of greenish, bluish. So like my computer screen looks kind of pretty, how you call, white. Or maybe, even the Bavarian tag, it's like all like kind of nice bluish, purplish colors. Everything looks kind of looks white. Cable, I hate cable. Cable mess. Spaghetti. Look, it really irritates me. Oh my God. I'm like one step to start cursing. Uh-oh. The light's off. Did I unplug anything? updates. Glad you guys here to be with me on this update stuff. That's what I'm tired from the cables. Cable. So another thing I want to ask you guys, you like cables or you hate cables? I want to know that too. So leave in the comments. And like my mom, my pai, mom, it's too late. Like if you guys want to go to sleep, it's probably like super bored like for you watching this here. I just doing that because I have nothing else to do. I have to keep going. This is creation content. Now looks like a pinkish, but to you just looks like a white. It's light and pretty. This way. Illuminate from behind. Okay. More update. Now like it's orange. That looks like the color from CineCube, now turn white, blink pink, blinking white again. So yeah, what you guys have for like a cockpit? You have like a aluminum profile. You have like the tubular. Have a wood. You know, my first scene rig was made of wood. I made one like made of wood. I had like this track racer I ordered, but I couldn't wait till they deliver, so I had to make one to play before. And it was like pretty damn good. I'm gonna make a video sometime. I'm gonna show you guys. I don't think it's like the same eco-friendly, right? Like use like a wood, but yeah, it's can be like pretty solid if you know how to build it. You know, it doesn't take like that much knowledge. You know, but if you use like a big, thick planks, I had like the kind of like 8 inches, 8 by 2, or like 1.5, like whatever, right? But it's like pretty thick, like, and yeah, it was pretty solid. Pink, yeah. Wow, so much updates. I'm not doing. Maybe I'm doing something wrong in here. Doing like the same thing over and over. Rebooting device. Update queue. Okay, let's reboot. How do you say reboot? Shouldn't like restart it? Say restart, not retard. Okay, already latest version installed. So why have update? Erasing old one. I think I'd be doing like I'm like kind of like a crazy looping here, the same thing over and over. That's super dumb if I'm doing that. It's gonna reboot next time. SC Link Hub, rebooting device. SimCube 3 link. I think I'm just keeping doing the same crap over and over. Like, come on, right? Say I cannot, if I talk, I cannot think. See, update, succeed, let's reboot. See how it goes. Because I'm not reading what I was doing, just like kind of just keep going. Just wait, dissolve. Go away. So what's your favorite drink? You like to drink water or you like to drink something else? You like to be drinking water, see? I'm not drinking buzz, just water and ice. And like when my computer like restart, I'm gonna grab more water here like to refill. I'll be back. Rebooting, restarting. I like water. I don't like to mix any other crap, you know. If it's not water, I like to drink coffee. But yeah, or tea. But I prefer coffee. I think. I like coffee in the morning. I like to drink like tea in the like late in the night. Yeah. Before bed. See the time 11:50 for who is live. Okay. Sim race connection. Is my microphone still working? Sim race connection. The latest upgrades. So guys, I honestly think I was just doing the same thing like over and over, like kind of a loop. I update again, thinking like it's like different stuff. Because say like tomorrow I'm gonna have like other things like from them, like the passive pedal. Looks kind of pretty cool. I'm like pretty excited with that. And the active pedal more than other, of course, right? The active pedal. I think that's the like the word. What's the word? The pinnacle. You know, the pinnacle of the pedals. Because like back in the day, you know, like say maybe like 3 years ago, like the Roosevelt was like the must have, like, you know, like the best pedal, I think. Still, like it's really good, right? But like nowadays, you know, like same thing like direct drive. Like before, like you didn't have like much options, right? Like for like direct drive. Now you have like now you can get like direct drive like for like $200, I guess. You know, like that's cheap. You know, you go like in the grocery store, like you buy like a thing of eggs, like meat, some water. It's $200, and yeah. So like everything like the sim race like evolve, like you know, like you have like a lot of good stuff with like a good price. You can get like a good set of pedals too. I think like for $300, you know, like the Samsung or SimTech. Okay, so here it says like 100% default. I think I'm gonna like leave like that, right? Like leave like default. So like you know what, guys? Why my Bavarian SimTech is not on? You know what? Because the pit stop app, I need to turn that on. So I want you guys leaving a call. No, I'm not joking. I'm being really serious. Not that I'm gonna read because I don't read any comment. If I don't read like the thing I'm doing here is important to me, the updates, thing when I read your comments. I wanna know what you have. Like you have like direct drive or have like the belt ones. Like nothing wrong with that. Like I say, I used to have the Logitech. I love it. That would make me bring me to this place now. Like the Logitech. It's pretty cool. Like it's nice. It's really fun. And so I don't know what type you have. Like you have like direct drive or the belt one. What brand do you use? Like it's like an ecosystem. You have like a bunch of different stuff, or all the same. Like I had before, everything like Fanatec. So now like the wheels back on. So that the app, the SimiCube app called SimiCube 3, no, SimiCube 3 Pro is like the name of the base. It's not the, what's the name of the app? Oh, Turner. Yeah, for I say my brain's not good, guys. So like this Turner. SimiCube Turner. So now what? So yeah. So I think I'm gonna finish this whatever we're doing here. Turn this on. Okay. Ends up this broadcast, and I guess going put this wheel in the cockpit. And I'm gonna have to go. Guys, curious? You wanna see behind it? You wanna see behind the scene? Let's watch it. So here, see if I can bring this kind of close. Here, like if you're in my seat position, look, you see race connection. Look the view. So you're all surrounded by these 34 ultra wide Acer monitors. It's like a pretty good deal too if you guys looking for buy a monitor. This one here is like 165 like the hertz whatever. Now I think they have like a much better one, and is same price. I think it's like $300 for like a 34 inches ultra wide. And like I was able to manage it to put it like in the 34 inches, the ASUS bezel free ASUS bezel free kit. I don't know, like in the camera it doesn't look nice as it looks in person. Not that in person look much better, but it looks better than looking in the camera. But so let me go real quick in here and show you guys. Like if you in my position in the POV. So here it's like my old pedals. It's like the Fanatec V3 I think. Again, like I think back in the day, this like was pretty nice pedal. Still, like I think the quality I like it. I think they look good. And like upgraded them, I put like the little shakers, like haptic, whatever called, from SeeMagic. So we have like the ABS, whatever, like you put in the scene hub, like and you can put it here. Like I use like in the throttle, like a RPM. Like you really don't need it for the throttle, I just yeah. But yeah, for the brakes, pretty good. So like that's my emergency thing I have in here. I bought this here in AliExpress. Guess what? How much I pay for this? I pay 98 cents free shipping. How can you do that, right? So like in AliExpress, like for example, this other thing here, like this L-shaped HDMI thing, like for my dash, the Simulito. Like so I can like be like pretty close here to my monitor. otherwise it'll be like that. I have to move far away. So like this here can be like pretty close. So like you can get like this stuff for like $1 in the AliExpress. Like you can get like a lot of say this here I think it's gonna be pretty cool. The race logic call, that's pretty cool. Like you get like your AliExpress, it's decent, like $120 I think for that. But it's like I don't know. I say it's like a must-have one. If you wanna buy the real one, it's like exactly the same. I wanna make like the race logic like a sticker to put it in here. Like you cannot tell the difference. The only difference like the real one have two of those. These have like just one, but that looks like pretty damn close to the real one, right? So you can get that in the AliExpress. These are the flag thing here, CDT, is like made of like aluminum. It's pretty nice. It's like it's $40, I think. It's like it's not bad, right? It's like these are wind simulator here. I have like another thing like a red stuff, like I remove it just recently. I think it looks better now. But so like this here, I have that because I pay like $1, $1. Like $1. What else I show? This here, like that was like 98 cents. And it's like a USB cable, maybe not be like good for transfer data. But it's not bad either, like for like a buck, The only thing I think you have to spend like $10. So you get like 10 different stuff, and you get like free shipping. And like in here, they like, I don't know, like 2 weeks to deliver, it's not bad. I think it's like a good deal. But say, I have a lot of stuff I got from AliExpress. I think that's it, right? But yeah. I get like some stuff like, I don't know, like some other stuff like might not be like a great idea. Stingrays stuff, like they have like a lot of things like from Stingrays, like brains, like say Scene Magic for example. You go like the Scene Magic website and you whatever it is, so it says like this thing here. Like say it costs like $100. Like you go to AliExpress, gonna be like $200 and like $100 shipping. Say, who buy that? Like who's dumb? So they have a lot of stuff like they charge kind of a lot. And like other things like so cheap, like you're not sure if it's like something's wrong. So it's like man, something's wrong. So yeah, so like what I'm gonna do next? I'm gonna be like in this live here, so like here I see like the behind like my cables like I mess up again. But I have like a lot of stuff going on here. So here, this here is like my brick from like my old direct drive, like the one you just removed the Fanatec. So here, see, I don't know if you can see. It's like a lot of cables. I managed to put it all like together like this. These other boxes you see, like these are movie lights. I'm gonna make a video too, like they have already, but I wanna make my own. They have this cockpit, I don't remember exactly, like a cockpit light, whatever, like I think the guy name is Bruno Silva. I thought it was like a Brazilian guy. I was so proud. It says like, oh, look, Brazilians, like, making Stingray stuff. But no, he's a Portuguese, like a Primo from Portugal. But it's really nice, like these programs, like this, like you're playing, like other lights. You don't have like set it up to every car. It's pretty cool. I will make a video like pretty soon. So here's the back. See, so I have this power thing here. But shit connected, and this side here I have like another brick or power strip, I don't know what they're called. These are knob sounds. I heard like a lot of people complaining. I have like I also made a video like the bass shaker So I have like for a long time, like I don't know, like 3 years, I guess. I just made the video because I didn't have a YouTube channel back then. I made it. I take it all apart and put it all back together. So here's my bass shakers. So like you guys can watch it to this video. Like I show how where to buy all this stuff, like for a really, like a pretty decent price. Let me show you. I don't know if I can. Go around. Oh, my camera freeze. Guys, the broadcast is over. See what's wrong. Scene. It's like it's going. Just the OBS. Let me open the YouTube. YouTube. Yeah, it's froze. So guys, it's like it's going. Just the OBS. Let me open the YouTube. Okay, guys, I'm gonna shut down, and I'll be back tomorrow. It's froze. I don't know how to refresh. I have to stop and start again. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna like kind of turn it off. So thank you for watching. I'm probably gonna add all this end out anyways. My mother, my father, my sister is watching. I bet it's there's 2 people. So thank you for watching. Or like my ex-wife and her boyfriend. So guys, thank you for watching, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna do like the active pedals, gonna be like pretty cool. And then I do like later like the cable management video. It's like it's midnight now, like I'm gonna turn like as Airwolf like pretty soon, so I have to get out, okay? Good night, thank you for watching. You watching Scene Race Connection. Now I'm gonna disconnect this connection. Good night, bye. Stop streaming. Boa noite. Dobre noche. Buenas noches. Que más? ¿Eso qué es? ¿Eso qué es? Good night. Buenasera. Bye.